Arizona hides some of America's darkest unsolved mysteries. Deep inside the deadly Superstition Mountains lies the legend of the Lost Dutchman Gold Mine, a hidden treasure linked to strange deaths, missing explorers, and secrets nobody has fully uncovered. But that mystery is only the beginning. Long before modern cities existed, the Hohokam Civilization built massive canals across the Arizona desert, creating one of the most advanced ancient societies in North America. Then suddenly, they disappeared, leaving behind empty ruins and unanswered questions. Were they destroyed by drought, war, or something else entirely? In this video, we uncover the chilling stories, hidden history, and eerie truths behind two of Arizona's greatest mysteries that continue to fascinate treasure hunters, historians, and explorers even today. The Lost Dutchman Gold Mine. Some places in the world feel normal during the day, but the moment the sun goes down, everything changes. The air becomes heavier. Every rock and shadow starts looking alive. And deep in the Arizona desert, there is one place that has terrified treasure hunters for more than 100 years. The Superstition Mountains. A place filled with strange disappearances, hidden caves, old maps, sudden deaths, and one mystery that refuses to die. The Lost Dutchman Gold Mine. People have spent their entire lives searching for it. Some became obsessed. Some lost their money. Some never came back home at all. And the strange part is, nobody can even prove the mine truly exists. But many believe it does, because too many people have seen gold coming out of those mountains. Too many stories matched together, and too many people died trying to find it. The story begins in the harsh desert lands of Arizona during the 1800s. Back then, the area was wild and dangerous. The heat could kill a person in hours. Water was hard to find. There were no safe roads, no rescue teams, and no phones. If you disappeared in those mountains, nobody would know where to look. The Apache people knew the land very well. For generations, they warned outsiders to stay away from certain parts of the mountains. According to old stories, some places there were cursed or protected by spirits. Strange sounds echoed through the rocks at night. Shadows moved where nobody should have been standing. Many ignored those warnings. One of those men was Jacob Waltz, the man later connected to the Lost Dutchman mystery. Even though people call it the Dutchman Mine, Waltz was actually German. Back then, Americans often confused Germans with Dutch people, and the nickname stayed forever. Waltz came to Arizona looking for fortune during a goal. I would say something really moved, but not knowing what makes money with the black hats or planes. But unlike most people, he suddenly became rich. Not extremely rich, like a king, but rich enough to make people suspicious. Neighbors noticed that Waltz often carried very pure gold. The gold looked different from ordinary gold found nearby. It was high quality and seemed to come from a secret source. But every time people asked him where he found it, he avoided the question. That only made the rumors stronger. As the years passed, stories spread all across Arizona about a hidden gold mine deep inside the Superstition Mountains. Some said Waltz found an old Spanish mine. Others believed the Apache had hidden the gold for centuries. A few even claimed the gold came from a place protected by evil spirits. Nobody knew the truth. Then came the moment that turned the story into legend. In 1891, Jacob Waltz became very sick. As he lay dying, he reportedly shared clues about the hidden mine with a woman named Julia Thomas. Some versions say he drew rough maps. Others say he gave directions using landmarks in the mountains. But there was a huge problem. The clues were confusing. Very confusing. Some people believed Waltz did this on purpose. Maybe he wanted the gold to stay hidden forever. Maybe he did not trust anyone. Or maybe his fever made his words unclear during his final days. Whatever happened, the moment Waltz died, the treasure hunt truly began. And it never stopped. Over the next decades, hundreds of people entered the Superstition Mountains searching for the mine. Some came with maps, some carried old journals. Some believed they had cracked secret codes hidden inside Waltz's directions. Most found nothing. But a few people returned with strange stories. Some claimed they saw rich gold veins shining inside hidden canyons. Others said they found tunnels that suddenly disappeared. A few even believed the mountains themselves somehow changed shape, making landmarks impossible to recognize again. Then there are the deaths. This is where the mystery becomes darker. Many treasure hunters vanished inside those mountains. Some bodies were later found under strange conditions. Others were never discovered at all. One famous case involved a man named Adolf Ruth in the 1930s. Ruth was an experienced explorer, searching for the mine using old clues. He disappeared in the mountains during summer. Months later, his skull was found with what appeared to be holes caused by gunshots. The rest of his body was discovered later, far away from the skull. That case shocked Arizona. Newspapers everywhere covered the story. Some believed Ruth was murdered by someone protecting the mine's location. Others blamed bandits or even random violence. But the mystery remained unsolved. And still people kept searching. That is the strange power of the Lost Dutchman story. The mountain almost pulls people toward it. Treasure hunters become obsessed. They spend years studying maps, walking dangerous trails, and searching caves under deadly heat. Even today, modern explorers still hunt for the mine, and the Superstition Mountains are no joke. Summer temperatures there can rise above 110 degrees Fahrenheit. There are steep cliffs, loose rocks, flash floods, rattlesnakes, scorpions, and areas so remote that rescue helicopters struggle to reach them. Hikers die there almost every year from dehydration or accidents. But despite all those dangers, people continue entering the mountains, hoping they will be the one who finally solves the mystery. Some researchers believe there is a logical explanation behind the legend. One idea says Waltz really did discover a rich gold deposit, but after his death, the exact location became lost forever. Another theory claims the mine existed but collapsed long ago. Some geologists believe volcanic activity in the region could hide gold veins in difficult places. And there actually is gold in Arizona. That part is true. Small amounts have been found around the region for generations. So the idea of a hidden rich mine is not impossible at all. But other researchers think the entire story became exaggerated over time. They believe Waltz may have simply collected gold from different locations while pretending he had one secret mine. Then, there are the paranormal stories. This is where things become even stranger. Many hikers and treasure hunters claim they experienced unexplained events in the mountains. People talk about hearing voices when nobody was nearby. Some reports seeing shadowy figures standing on cliffs before suddenly disappearing. Others describe strange lights moving at night across the rocks. A few even claim they felt watched the entire time they were inside the mountains. Local legends speak about spirits guarding hidden gold. According to some old Apache stories, the mountains are sacred and dangerous. Whether those stories are symbolic or supernatural depends on who you ask. But one thing is true. The Superstition Mountains have a very uncomfortable feeling for many visitors. Even experienced hikers say the silence there feels strange. During sunset, the rocks turn dark red, the shadows grow longer, and the mountain landscape almost looks alive. It is easy to understand why so many legends were born there. Movies, Books, documentaries, and television shows have all tried to solve the mystery. Every few years, someone claims they found new evidence. Old maps appear online. Metal detector groups organize expeditions. Amateur historians search through old records hoping to connect missing clues. And still, nobody has found the confirmed location of the Lost Dutchman Gold Mine. Or at least, nobody has proven it publicly. That creates another interesting theory. What if someone already found it? Some people believe a lucky explorer may have secretly discovered the gold years ago and decided never to reveal a location. Honestly, if the mine were real and extremely rich, would someone really announce it to the world? Probably not. There are also rumors that some people intentionally spread fake clues to confuse others. Over time, dozens of false maps and fake stories have circulated around Arizona. Some treasure hunters became victims of scams after paying money for secret directions that led nowhere. The mystery became a business of its own. Tourism around the Superstition Mountains grew because of the legend. Today, visitors from around the world travel there hoping to experience the mystery themselves. Hiking trails, museums, gift shops, and guided tours all benefit from the story. That is one positive side of the legend. The mystery helped preserve interest in Arizona history. It also brought money into nearby communities and encouraged people to learn about the desert environment and old mining culture. But there is also a negative side. Some visitors underestimate the danger of the mountains. Every year, rescue teams deal with lost hikers, injuries, dehydration cases, and reckless treasure hunters entering risky areas. The obsession with finding gold can push people into making dangerous decisions. And sadly, some areas have also suffered from illegal digging and damage caused by treasure seekers searching for hidden tunnels. Today, the Superstition Mountains remain both beautiful and frightening. During daylight, the scenery is stunning. Massive rock formations rise above the desert. Sunlight reflects off the cliffs with deep orange colors. Wildlife still moves through the region, and hikers from all over America come to experience the trails. But once evening arrives, the atmosphere changes fast. The mountains become quiet, very quiet. And somewhere inside that giant maze of rocks and hidden canyons, people still believe a fortune in gold is waiting to be found. Personally, I think there is some truth behind the legend. Maybe not every supernatural story, maybe not every treasure map, but I do believe Jacob Waltz found something real at some point in his life. Too many people saw unusual gold connected to him for the entire story to be completely fake. At the same time, I think the mystery became larger than the mine itself. The Lost Dutchman Gold Mine is no longer just about treasure. It represents obsession, greed, adventure, fear, and the idea that some mysteries in the world refuse to be solved. And maybe that is why people still cannot let it go. Right now, the Superstition Mountains are both a tourist attraction and a dangerous wilderness area. Thousands of hikers visit every year. Rangers patrol parts of the region, and safety warnings are everywhere because of extreme heat and difficult terrain. The area is still filled with treasure hunters carrying maps and metal detectors, hoping they will uncover one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. But until someone walks out of those mountains with undeniable proof, the Lost Dutchman Gold Mine remains exactly what it has always been. A legend hidden somewhere in the desert, The Hohokam Civilization disappearance. Imagine building one of the most advanced societies in the American desert, without modern machines, without electricity, and without metal tools. Imagine creating hundreds of miles of canals in one of the hottest places in North America. A civilization so skilled that even today, parts of modern Arizona still follow the same water paths they designed over 1,000 years ago. And then, one day, they were simply gone. No giant battlefields, no clear evidence of a massive disaster, no final message explaining what happened. Just empty villages, silent canals, abandoned homes, and one giant mystery that still confuses archaeologists today. This is the disappearance of the Hohokam Civilization, one of the strangest ancient mysteries in Arizona history. Long before modern cities like Phoenix existed, the Hohokam people lived across the Arizona desert for nearly 1,000 years. Historians believe they began building communities around 300 CE. At first, they were small farming groups trying to survive in a brutal environment where summer temperatures could become deadly. Most people would look at that dry desert land and think survival there was impossible. But the Hohokam saw opportunity. Their greatest achievement was water. The Hohokam built huge canal systems that carried river water across miles of desert land. These canals allowed them to grow crops in places where farming should not have worked. Corn, beans, squash, and cotton could suddenly grow in the middle of the dry Arizona heat. And these were not simple little ditches. Some canals stretched for many miles and were carefully designed with surprising skill. The water flow had to remain balanced. Too steep, and the water would rush too fast. Too flat, and the water would stop moving completely. Even modern engineers have admitted the system was impressive for its time. As the years passed, Hohokam society became larger and more organized. Villages expanded into major communities connected by trade routes. They traded shells from the Pacific coast, colorful stones, pottery, and other valuable goods with nearby cultures. They also built large public structures and ball courts used for gatherings and ceremonies. Some researchers believe these places were used for games, trade meetings, or religious events. At their peak, the Hohokam controlled one of the most successful desert civilizations in ancient North America. And then, things slowly began to change. By the 1300s and early 1400s, signs of trouble started appearing. Some villages showed evidence of fires and damage. Certain canals became harder to maintain. Populations shifted. Trade patterns changed. And eventually, many settlements were abandoned completely. The most famous site connected to this mystery is the Casa Grande structure in Arizona, a massive adobe building standing alone in the desert. Even today, when people first see it, they are surprised. The structure looks ancient, almost unreal against the dry landscape. Thick walls still stand after hundreds of years. Nobody knows exactly why it was built, but many believe it had ceremonial or astronomical importance. The strange thing is that Casa Grande was eventually abandoned too. No final explanation was left behind. When European explorers later arrived in the region, they found ruins already standing empty under the desert sun. So what happened to Hohokam? That question has lasted for generations. One theory points to drought. Arizona is already extremely dry, and researchers believe the region may have suffered long periods without enough rain. If river levels dropped, the canals would stop working properly. Farming would collapse. Food shortages would spread quickly across villages, and when water disappears in the desert, survival becomes a nightmare. This theory makes sense because the Hohokam depended heavily on their canal systems. Without reliable water, their entire civilization would struggle to continue. But drought may not be the full answer. Another theory suggests flooding actually caused major damage. That sounds strange at first because Arizona is known for dry weather, but desert storms can become extremely violent. Rivers can suddenly flood with incredible force. Some archaeologists think repeated floods may have damaged important canals faster than the Hohokam could repair them. Imagine spending years building a perfect water system, only to watch nature destroy it again and again. Over time, people may have simply given up and moved elsewhere. Then, there is the theory of conflict. Some ancient settlements show signs of walls, burned areas, and defensive positions. Researchers believe tension may have grown between communities as resources became harder to find. If water and food became limited, fighting could have started between groups competing to survive. This would not be unusual in human history. When resources disappear, peace often disappears too. There is also evidence that disease may have played a role. Large connected populations can spread sickness quickly, especially in communities depending on shared water systems. But because the Hohokam left no written records, scientists cannot confirm exactly what illnesses may have existed. And that is one of the biggest frustrations in this mystery. The Hohokam left behind amazing engineering, but no written explanation of their final years. No books, no clear records, no final warning. Just clues hidden in ruins, pottery, tools, and abandoned canals. Some researchers believe the civilization did not truly vanish at all. Instead, they think the Hohokam people slowly merged into other native communities over time. Modern tribes in the southwest, especially the Akimel Odam and Tohono O'odham people, are believed to have strong cultural connections to the Hohokam. So in that sense, the people themselves may not have disappeared. Their ancient cities did. And honestly, that may be even more interesting, because it changes the mystery from where did they go to why did such a powerful society stop existing in the form it once had. The Arizona desert itself adds to the mystery. If you visit old Hohokam sites today, the silence feels heavy. The dry wind moves across empty land where thousands of people once lived and worked together. Some canal paths are still visible from the air. You can actually trace parts of their engineering across the desert landscape. That is incredible when you think about it. A civilization gone for centuries, still shaping modern Arizona. Many experts now believe the Hohokam were far more advanced than earlier historians realized. For a long time, ancient desert societies were underestimated. But modern archaeology continues uncovering evidence of organized planning, trade systems, astronomy knowledge, and engineering skill. The more scientists learn about the Hohokam, the more mysterious their disappearance becomes. Because civilizations this successful are not supposed to collapse so quietly. And there are still unanswered questions. Why were some settlements abandoned faster than others? Why did certain canal systems remain active while others failed? Did climate change happen slowly or suddenly? Could leadership problems have weakened the society internally? Or did several disasters happen at the same time? Nobody knows for sure. There are also strange local stories tied to ancient ruins. Some visitors report an eerie feeling around abandoned Hohokam sites, especially near sunset. The desert becomes silent, and the ruins almost feel frozen in time. While there is nothing supernatural proven there, the atmosphere alone is enough to make people imagine the past. And honestly, the desert can feel haunting, especially when you realize thousands of people once called it home. Today, archaeologists continue studying Hohokam sites across Arizona. New discoveries still happen. Advanced technology, like ground scanning and satellite imaging, helps researchers locate buried canals and hidden structures without damaging the land. That is one positive thing about the mystery. Interest in the Hohokam has helped protect many ancient sites from total destruction. Museums, protected parks, and research programs now teach people about the civilization's achievements. More respect is also being given to native history and culture connected to the region. But there are negative sides too. Some ancient sites have been damaged by construction, vandalism, and illegal artifact hunting. Urban growth around Phoenix has covered parts of old canal systems and settlements. Looters have stolen pottery and tools from archaeological areas for years. And sadly, many people still know very little about the Hohokam, despite how important they were. That is slowly changing now. Places like Casa Grande ruins still stand as reminders of this lost civilization. Tourists visit every year to walk through the ancient site and imagine what life looked like centuries ago. The giant adobe walls remain surprisingly strong despite heat, storms, and time itself. But the mystery still remains unsolved. Personally, I think the Hohokam collapse was not caused by one single disaster. I believe several problems hit them at once. Drought, environmental pressure, possible flooding, social tension, and changing trade systems. Even strong civilizations can break when too many pressures happen together. What makes this story fascinating is how modern it feels. The Hohokam were deeply connected to water, climate, and resource management. Their survival depended on balancing nature carefully. And today, modern cities in Arizona still face many of those same challenges. In some ways, their story feels less like ancient history and more like a warning from the past. Right now, many Hohokam archaeological sites are protected and studied across Arizona. Some areas are open to tourists, while others remain restricted to preserve artifacts and sacred land. Researchers continue uncovering new information every year, but the full truth behind the civilization's disappearance remains unknown. The canals, ruins, and desert landscapes still stand quietly under the Arizona sun, reminding people that even great civilizations can disappear and leave behind only questions.